everybody, and welcome back to the Plotaholics Live.
Plotaholics Live!
That's Brian Tan on that side over there. I'm Shane Wilson, and
over
we
there.
are. That's right, and we're back.
We're
Um,
back. Season 3 premiere.
yeah, after a brief hiatus over the summer, here we are back to discuss all of the week's big pop culture news with you. And make some announcements along the way. So join in the conversation. Let us know that you're here. And
Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friend Steve.
maybe if Steve,
Maybe.
if Steve gets down like that,
Yeah,
but
as long as Steve isn't a dick.
yeah, we don't like dicks. So,
Or Joneses.
Brian, this week, I think that we have to start our lead story with the sad news of the week. And that is, of course, that Mr. Chadwick Boseman died at 43 after battling cancer.
For 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew. What's crazy, though, is that we were seeing images pop up on social media. And I even said, when I saw one, I said, wow, he looks sick. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And, a lot of dillweeds are talking about how, he must be on drugs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he had lost a lot of weight. And
the poor man was freaking suffering.
yeah.
And he busted his ass for 4 years, making those physically taxing Marvel movies and just appearance on top of appearance on top of appearance. And a human body can only take so much.
Yeah,
the spirit is willing and the body was weak.
Yeah, and we said a lot about this on the podcast this past week, and that is our Mystery Men episode. If you want to go back and listen to that, we really sort of exhausted the well, really, on what we had to say about his passing, which is incredibly sad.
It really is. I shared this during the Mystery Men episode, and I remember going in to see Black Panther. Now, I like the Marvel movies, but I hadn't really gone to see them in theaters. I would wait for them to come out on home media. I was there to see Black Panther. I was there opening night, and when I left, I had tears in my eyes because it was almost the equivalent of when Barack Obama got elected president, in the fact that this was another instance where I felt like, as the black community, we finally are getting that fair shake. We're finally getting there. And now he's gone. And the MCU isn't going to be the same. There's always going to be something missing, at least for the next couple of years, if not longer. It's going to feel like something's missing.
Yeah, well, and we alluded to this a little bit in the episode, and I said this was probably conversation for today, and that is how do you move forward as the MCU? Most fans that have voiced their opinion say, do not recast T'Challa.
No.
Let's move past that and let's get Shuri in the suit. And
well, in the comics, Shuri takes over as Black Panther,
and I think that's the way. I think that's the only thing to do.
I agree. I remember saying to someone that if they were going to recast, it wouldn't upset me if Michael B. Jordan took over the role. And I know you would have to get real slick with the writing.
Yeah.
But he's the only one that I would be okay with if he took over the role. Now, granted, do I think Michael B. Jordan is a talented actor? Absolutely. Is he as talented of an actor as a Chadwick Boseman? No. Because
I think he just has a very different skill set.
Right, his skill set is different. That was going to be my point.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's not really an actor that I see that's going to be able to be, I don't even want to so much say method, but be able to change his voice, change his accent, change his tone. Mm-hmm. Where Chadwick Boseman does it perfectly on a drop.
Yeah.
But I think that you're going to have Shuri take over as Queen of Wakanda and be the new Black Panther. And that would actually be an amazing dynamic, because now you have a female monarch that's in charge of the most technically advanced country on the planet in the MCU. And so I think that the only real positive that's going to come from this passing is that we're going to finally get to see Marvel really take further leaps and bounds ahead of the DC universe when it comes to female empowerment.
Yeah, I mean, don't you sort of believe, and I've believed this, that that they had anticipated her taking over from him eventually anyway.
Absolutely. I think that was
The
I think that's
contingency
something
plan,
that was
right?
coming. Yeah. Like honestly, like a lot of people are said that they didn't know he was sick. I think that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige had to have known something
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
or had an idea
uh,
because that's something that
I'll
you
say this. I mean, Feige and company, they're pretty good at keeping,
they're very good at
a
keeping
tight
quiet.
ship over there, because they it's we the biggest movies on the planet are Marvel movies, and we are steady surprised by them. So
Absolutely.
they're pretty good at keeping leaks under control over there. So
Well,
yeah, I mean, I
well,
think
part
it's
of it's because they give Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo fake
fake.
scripts.
Yeah, right. That's the best. Well, they talked about how in Endgame that final scene they filmed a funeral and a wedding,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't tell anybody how the movie was actually going to end.
And I think that's smart. I think that's
Yeah.
brilliant. Honestly, I think if Star Wars would follow the same formula,
No, Star
that
Wars
the
can't even
MCU
write
would-
one ending.
No, it can't.
Much
Star
less
Wars
two.
can't even keep a good franchise going. I mean, at that point, but like the only thing they've got is the Mandalorian, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if Star Wars, if Lucas Films could do what Marvel Studios is doing, Disney would be the most unstoppable entity in entertainment. But
And
it
they
can't.
still are. I mean,
They are for the most, yeah, but they would be even more so.
just get J.J. Abrams out of there.
Yeah, I think J.J. Abrams should go. Kathleen Kennedy should go. And I think it should be Ryan Johnson and Jon Favreau running the whole thing.
Yeah, but they'll never give it to Ryan Johnson.
No, not at all, because Ryan Johnson had a lot of stuff to say.
Yeah.
And you know that John Boyega's not coming back.
Right.
Did you hear about what he said a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know why butthurt Star Wars fans don't understand. I don't fuck with y'all no more. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. You know what? John Boyega, I would like to see him in a Marvel role.
Yeah.
I would have.
agree.
I even if they couldn't have gotten Chadwick Boseman, I think he might have been able to.
I was
beat
actually just
T'Challa.
thinking that too. He's got a similar charisma, and of course, when they wrote him into Star Wars, they made him a little doofy. But I think Boyega could have played that part. But at this point, I think the only way forward is
Shuri.
Yeah.
Shuri is definitely the only way forward. What do you guys think? You guys are here checking us out, listening. What do you guys think? Do you think that they should recast? Do you think that they should just move forward with Shuri? What do you think they should do? Because at this point, Wakanda is too integral to the MCU.
It's true.
It's way too
It's the
important.
new Stark Towers, basically.
It really is, and you've got now. You especially, you have to have a Black Panther.
Yeah.
You have to, because you don't have Captain America anymore.
Well,
You
and I
don't
think-
have Iron Man anymore.
I think that if you're going to go with Black Panther, if you're going into Black Panther 2 and you use anybody other than Shuri, then you're just going to do another origin film.
Pretty much. Now, here's what I wonder. This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
How would you feel if the Jaburi tribe rejoined the other tribes and M'Baku took over as
See,
Black
I think
Panther?
that's something that you can work towards eventually, maybe. But I think for the sake of the fandom and what Chadwick Boseman meant to everybody, I think Shuri is the one that makes the most sense because of their on-screen relationship. It just was so warm,
It really was. Like, you couldn't tell me they weren't brother and sister.
Right. And so I think that just, I mean, is it interesting to think about Shuri having to like battle for that place in the kingdom against M'Baku? Yeah. I mean, because now you're going to have to see like a brain over brawn sort of battle,
Yeah, and you have to see Winston Duke, who's like 6'6", 250, versus Letitia Wright, who's like 5'4", 120.
Yeah.
Yep, and Kelly Russell. Shout out to Kelly Russell. He's on board with the Shuri and possibly Michael B. Jordan. I
Yeah, it would
mean,
have been. You'd have an easier time with Michael B. Jordan if he hadn't already.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
the implication is that he's dead, right?
That's the implication. But no one truly stays dead in Marvel comics.
Well, not in the comics, but
Yeah, not in the comics, because we love.
that's
'Cause
honestly the biggest complaint that we have about Marvel movies is that they can't not kill their bad guys.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sorry, Ulysses Claw is too good of a villain to have just killed off that way.
Well, and even Thanos, who only got two
Thanos,
movies.
right? Thanos is an amazing character, is an amazing villain. Obadiah Stane would have been a decent villain in the long run.
Pretty sure the only villain that has survived recently is Vulture.
Pretty much, yeah. And yeah, because Crossbones, they killed Crossbones. What the hell's his name? Bardock. George St. Pierre's character from Captain America: Winter Soldier. He's still alive.
Okay.
But he's sort of a minor character. But
Yeah.
he,
The big
know,
bads
so-
always bite the dust, man. And
I don't like.
and
that.
that's and I don't know why that is, because if you read comics, you know that no one, like you say, is ever really
No one
dead.
dies.
But in cinema, it's harder to bring them back.
I think it's also harder to have a conclusion to a film if you don't kill them off. That's the most difficult part.
Well, I think it works better in franchises like Batman, where the people you're fighting are essentially just regular ass people that are crazy, right? Like
Right.
they're not super strong or anything. Like, what are you going to do with Thanos? Lock him up in Arkham Asylum? He's just going to break the wall down.
well, I think for the universe you're at, I think we'd have to make it Darkseid.
Right? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because the super powerful, they're not just going to go back to their home planet and lick their wounds. Oh man.
Right? Yeah. Like, oh, I just got my ass kicked real good. Guess I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. I'll see you next time, Avengers.
Yeah. Right.
No, you won't.
So.
I mean,
nothing-
maybe we get to a point. If these now, here's the thing. They've made a liar out of me because I said I was at first against the MCU.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how long are you going to be able to go with this? And I was
Well,
like, there's no way this is going to make it 10 years. So now I'm a liar. It's
Yeah,
been 12
but I will
years.
say this, and it's something that we've talked about off air, is with DC fandom a couple of weeks ago, it looks like DC might be getting their shit together just in time to make a move at Marvel's throne, because Marvel has
Marvel's
stumbled,
been untouched for so long.
yeah, well, and they've kind of stumbled in the days since Endgame, because
Yeah.
they were sort of banking on Black Widow, and then with the pandemic hit, it sort of bought DC a little bit of time.
Yeah. And I think, and that's only good for us as fans.
Yeah.
Because as good, if DC
You
really
want
gets
both
this
of those studios firing on all cylinders.
Oh, absolutely. That just gets us better stories, better everything, and more long game storytelling, which I
but
love.
after Endgame, we were due for a letdown from Marvel. Like, it was time. And the Spider-Man
you
was
didn't
Far
like,
From Home.
Yeah, you didn't like Far From Home?
I did like Far From Home, but when you have this big event like Endgame,
It is kind of a letdown. Far From Home should have come later.
I think what happens is Endgame is a season finale, right?
Yes.
And then you have to reset expectations at the beginning of the next season, and so you can't just maintain that same momentum always.
Right.
Or eventually, the event like Endgame will lose its meaning. If everything is that sort of high stakes, then nothing means anything, you know?
I think Spider-Man should have... They should have released Spider-Man this year.
Yeah.
And Black Widow right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they should have... Well, and we've said this too, but they should have released Black Widow 5 years ago.
I agree
but-
110%.
Regardless, it is what it is. We will not...
We
not
can't
gonna-
go back in time.
No,
We can't...
and we won't say too much more about Marvel or anything. Just, rest in peace,
Rest in
Chadwick
peace,
Boseman,
Chadwick Boseman, yeah.
Who
And,
was,
much love and healing and strength to his family and inner circle and his wife, because that's just, I mean, as painful as it is for us as fans, imagine what his family's going through.
yeah,
So, rest in power, King.
yes, Wakanda forever.
That's right.
Now, Brian, I saw this story yesterday, and then you sent it to me this morning, so I know you're excited about it. I guess the HBO Max has
I
announced an unscripted Fresh Prince reunion special.
hope original Aunt Viv is involved in this. I want to see Karen Hubert and Will Smith in a room together.
Yeah, I was wondering when I was prepping for this, I was wondering if we would get her.
I hope
Um,
so because there's still a lot that there needs to be some resolution to that.
what? Can you explain sort of the drama
I
of?
think what I recall is that they just didn't get along behind the scenes
Yeah.
and she wasn't happy. I mean, granted, yeah, it's his starring vehicle, but I guess she thought that she was going to get more to do or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it too was that maybe just Will being young and new to the acting game was probably
Yeah.
feeling himself a little more than she would have liked.
Right.
And it turned into something big, and then I guess she wanted to be paid better money and they wouldn't, so they recast her.
So when you start looking at an unscripted reunion special, what do you hope to see out of that?
I think literally they're just going to be sitting around asking questions,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
answering
why do
questions,
we
and
want that?
I guess because for what we were just talking about, are they
That
going
kind
to
of
bring
question.
in?
I mean, but do
Are
you
they going
think
to
that
bring her up?
if she doesn't come back though, you can assume that they won't ask that question?
I'm sure they will. I'm sure somebody will. I mean, it's bound to come up.
Well, it's not a live town hall. It's not
True,
a
very
live
true,
reunion
very
special.
true.
They're filming it in September with an expected air date of sometime around Thanksgiving.
Well, they're gonna do something stupid like ask Alfonso Ribeiro to do the Carlton.
Right.
You know that, and they're gonna ask, well, what do you think Will and Carlton and the family would be doing now? And would Uncle Phil be dead because James Avery is dead?
Well,
And
it's
then
all
they're gonna ask about the possible drama
well.
version.
That's what it is, right? It's a marketing tool.
I think yeah, that's going to be a lead up. Like honestly, they've already signed the deal for the drama version.
Yeah, and
We're
Will Smith
probably
is
going to be getting
attached
that
to
next
it
year.
as for
As a
development.
producer.
So yeah,
Yeah. So we're going to be seeing that probably sometime in around this time, 2021, early 2022.
yeah,
So that's literally all this is.
yeah. So I mean, will it be cool to see those folks interact with each other again? Certainly, there'll probably be something really touching about Uncle Phil and
And Jeffrey, because I think Jeffrey passed
yeah, I think
away
you're
too.
right. DJ Jazzy Jeff is going to be in the house.
Oh yeah, then they're going to have someone else throw him out.
Right.
I'll actually be excited to see Karen Parsons because after when the Fresh Prince ended, she kind of stepped away to take care of her family.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, that's supposedly coming in November. So keep an eye out for the Fresh Prince reunion special.
I'm still having a hard time watching the show though.
Are
I
you?
really am. Yeah, because the jokes about Carlton's blackness just really
Mm-hmm.
get to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny back then, but now it's kind of like a lot of things where as you get older, certain things just aren't as funny to you.
Yeah, I get that. That was a very '90s kind of joke.
It
You know?
really was. It really was.
But yeah, I have not revisited it since I got HBO Max. I used to watch it all the time when I was
So did
younger.
I. Oh my
And
god, I would
so-
put it on Nick at night and watch
No, for
like,
sure.
religiously.
Yeah, so I imagine I'll probably go back to it sooner than later because it's there and there's a lot of it. You know.
What have you been watching the most on HBO Max since it dropped?
Oh man, honestly, like lately, I've just been sleeping to Big Bang Theory because it's like super easy to sleep to. But I've been watching a bunch of the DC stuff, like we talked off the air. Mostly the Harley Quinn animated series is what I've like really sat down and watched.
Right. Yeah, that I'm watching. I mostly watched South Park, but I've also watched a couple of movies. Like I actually watched the original black and white Lord of the Flies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, which was
the film catalog on HBO Max is on point.
it's pretty deep and I
Yeah.
enjoy it. And the one thing that I like about it better than Peacock is that even when you're paying for Peacock, you're still getting I have the paid for year, but I'm still getting commercials. But I don't like it because with Hulu, the movies don't have commercials, just the
Right.
TV shows. But with the Peacock, they interrupt movies
Yeah.
for commercials, and that kind of
You know,
ticks me.
the dust is starting to settle on this like opening round of the streaming wars, and I think HBO Max probably has won this round if you exclude like Netflix, like the
If you
batch of
exclude
new
Netflix,
entrants.
yeah, the new entrants, HBO Max is the clear and present winner.
Yeah, because
With
Disney Plus underperformed. I mean, like Disney Plus did well out of the gate, but in
yeah,
terms
but
of new content, Disney hasn't really given us anything.
no, all they had was the Mandalorian. That's it. And granted, yeah, we've been getting the MCU movies trickling in full, and they're now all there. But big whoop, if you're someone like me, I already own all the movies.
Yeah, if you're someone
except
like me,
for-
then you watch them once and you're pretty much done with them.
Right. And the only other new thing that came was Hamilton. And that's like 7 months later.
Yeah.
So
And a bunch of people just signed up for a free trial to watch that and then dipped out.
right. And then you'll get some people like me as well that if you're a Verizon subscriber, if you have a particular unlimited plan, you get the whole shebang for free.
Yeah.
So Disney Plus really needs to up their game here in year 2.
Yeah.
HBO Max is doing amazing, and HBO Max is going to keep doing amazing.
Yeah, well, and we've got Mandalorian season 2 coming this October, I think.
And we're going to have WandaVision and Falcon in the Winter. So I think
Well,
this
and you
year
know, we did finally see that. You know, we talked about this in the spring when COVID first started breaking, that they had not announced delays, but they did finally announce delays on those Marvel shows.
yeah, because we were supposed to have WandaVision now.
Yeah.
So, and to Katrina Johnson's point there in the chat, going back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air conversation, they also had a lot of weight jokes as well, which a lot of the jokes from that don't age well. And when you have something like that where the jokes don't age all that well, the nostalgia of it it's hard to fall into as deeply.
Well,
like
the
Living
fat joke-
Single, I was watching Living Single for days at a time, and then I just took a break, and I don't get tired of it. But like Fresh Prince, I got to like episode 12 and was like, okay.
The fat joke is like sort of the cream of the 90s crop when it comes to...
Oh, fat jokes were for all the white shows, the black shows,
Yeah.
all the shows. And then if you had a black person, there was always the joke about how black they were.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the '90s bingo card right there.
Yeah. I think next we should talk about this controversy that has been boiling
Let's do
over the last well, I guess probably a couple months at this point, since Disney has announced that Mulan will be going straight to Disney Plus for a $30 VOD price. That
I'll be
actually
waiting until
launches
December.
this weekend, and we also found this week that Mulan will be available for Disney Plus subscribers for free in December.
And that's what I'll be waiting on, because I don't give a shit that much about Mulan I ain't spending $30 on Mulan.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
And
it
I
ain't
would-
like we're talking Bill and Ted Face the Music here.
Well, right, and I would argue that you're not the target audience for Mulan.
That's a good point by you. I mean, do I want to see it? Yes. But not $30 worth.
Were you going to go to the theater and see Mulan?
No.
So then this
I was going to wait for it to come on Disney Plus anyway.
Yeah, so then the December thing is not a new thing for you. You were just
No,
going to
not
always
really.
do that.
I wasn't even really. Well, you keep in mind though too, when the animated movie came out, I aged out of Mulan. I aged out of the
Yeah.
Disney movies at that point. So
So you're talking about a kid, like a movie for kids, or a movie that's like for people sort of in my generation, my age bracket, that grew up on the cartoon, wanting to take their families to go see it, and you're not getting a family into the theaters for less than $30.
that's true. So it is kind of it does work in that regard if you got a family and you want to watch. But like Sharon and I, we're just like nah.
Yeah,
Plus,
right.
we're getting pretty frugal now. We really are. We're starting to get frugal. She gave me a side eye when I told her I got the Peacock for a year. She gave me a side eye on that, but I was like, but then I said I think I found a way to make up for it. I can get Disney and Hulu for free.
Yeah, so I mean, I think people have complained about this $30 price point for Mulan, but I think Disney's still going to make money on it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a ton of people. I mean, people bought Trolls 2 or Troll World Order, Troll Trolls World Tour. They bought.
Is it
for
starring Jane Judi Dench?
No, it had Ozzy Osbourne in it, but you can catch the drunk review of Trolls 2 World Order over on our YouTube page. But yeah, so when Troll came out at the beginning of the pandemic, it was $20 for a rental, and you lost it at the end of the weekend.
Yeah,
and they made
really sucked.
a ton of money on that. That movie made more money than the original one did.
Very true. I think it's the price point that has a lot of people pissed off. If they said that you could watch it for like 20, if you're already a Disney Plus subscriber and you make pay one time like $15, people would be okay with it. Now, if they spend $30 on it, they can watch it. They get access to it now. They can watch it whenever they want, and then it just goes free 3 months later.
Well, right. It's a 3-month rental, basically.
Right. And I think that's $10 a month. I guess it's not too shabby.
Well, and here's the other thing, right? We should see this for what it is. It's an experiment.
Right. They want to see, because the bottom line is that a lot of people aren't going to be looking to go to movie theaters for at least another, even if we got a vaccine in January.
Right.
We're not going to go back to normal life for at least another year.
Right. And
So
Black
they
Widow
wanna see
has
if
now
they can
been
get away
added
with
to the VOD calendar.
Right. And
So-
that's what Marvel's going to be doing with a lot of their movies. This is going to be the new normal.
So, how much do you charge for that, and how do you decide how much to charge for that? We know already that people will pay $20 and not even want to keep the movie. Mm-hmm. So, let's try Mulan for $30. We'll still make some money on it, and then we'll know if we'll have a good idea of how many people are willing to spend $30 on it.
Right. I'm hoping that I can still watch Bill and Ted Face the Music. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, because I think they said available on video on demand, so I think that's a purchase. It's mine now.
Well, VOD. Well, it depends on how it was labeled, because home premieres are. I think you're right. I think you do get to keep it, because I was looking at that the other day too.
It's set as purchased, so
yeah,
and it says early access, so them shits is mine.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the numbers come in next week for Mulan, especially since this weekend also marks the timid return to theaters for audiences in the U.S. with the launch of Tenet.
Jeez, I feel like I've been hearing about this movie so damn much this summer, and I don't care.
Yeah, I think the reason that you hear so much about Tenet this summer is because it was really the biggest movie of the summer.
It was supposed to be, yeah.
Other than like maybe Wonder Woman and some of those things. But Tenet is a Christopher Nolan movie. Christopher Nolan always does well, and he always has big special effects. So people, right. And they were doing the hype machine was in full effect. They bought a huge ad, like going into, oh God, what movie was that before? There was like you essentially got to see the first scene of Tenet before one of the last movies that I went to see in theaters. I can't even remember what it was now. Nah. But it might have been Spider-Man, honestly. But regardless, they were hyping Tenet in a big way, and Nolan kept asking, is Tenet going to go VOD as well? And Nolan wouldn't let it. Like, Nolan wanted it in theaters.
He wants it in a theater, yeah.
And it opened globally last weekend and made $50 million. That's everywhere else other than here, because we can't get our shit together. Then here it's opening this weekend over Labor Day weekend, and like AMC
That's
theaters.
Kind of a smart move. That's kind of a smart move.
AMC theaters are at 70% of their circuit.
Yeah, the one near me is open. The one that I'd go to is open.
But they're obviously still doing like social distancing and
Cinemark is open. I'm sorry.
Selling fewer tickets and things like that. They need Tenet to make. I saw the number today: 25 to 35 million, which is a little over half of what it was expected to make its opening weekend before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. To consider it a success. So we'll have to watch to see what happens with Tenet. But
I'm sure it's gonna, because people are gonna want to go out, and it's literally the only thing that's gonna be new.
Yeah. Well, other than New Mutants.
I forgot I almost forgot
Brian, we
about
are about
Minions.
halfway through this episode of Plotaholics Live, and I think it's a good time to let people know that we've got Plotaholics merch.
Woo! Plotaholics merch!
You can get your Plotaholics t-shirts, Plotaholics hooded sweatshirts, and Plotaholics masks
That's right.
through our TeePublic website. Link in the description.
Right down there. Look at it.
Our offerings include this nifty Plotaholics t-shirt with a Plotaholics logo and Plotaholics website, and also this When in Doubt, Blame a Wizard. You can get that printed on a coffee mug or
I can't. You know what? I can't wait for if we can. Get the bosses to a-okay the what do we call it again? Free the butt.
Oh, we've got a Free the Butt shirt.
We do have Free the Butt.
I don't have a graphic for it. Let me pull up the Free the Butt shirt.
All right, a Free the Butt shirt. Yeah. That'll make Ebony McMillan happy.
Yeah, so Free the Butts.
Free the butt. Free the butt. Free my booty. Don't miss out. Free the butts.
Of course, Free the Butts is our shout at Disney for censoring the movie Splash and taking the mermaid butt out of it.
Right. Hence why we have a mermaid in mouse ears.
Yes.
Free the butt. Free the butt.
We're definitely not going to get a cease and desist letter.
Whew.
Hopefully.
We're not important enough for them to come.
I know. I wish somebody would send me a cease and desist letter.
Oh, then we could trend.
Right.
We would be trending.
Yeah. Somebody put us on Disney's website. I will cease and desist, but I want the letter.
Seriously, you know what? As long as we get that bump and freaking everything, I'll take. Free publicity is the best publicity.
That's right. Yeah. But you can find the link to all of our merch in the description below. Also, the new shop link on plotaholics.com.
Woo! I'm going to be getting a shirt soon.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, man.
I dig it. Yeah, because you and Michelle are sporting them, and I saw those images, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to share those out. Look at these models.
Yeah, I think that the shirts look good.
The shirts look amazing.
So make sure that you pick up your Plotaholics merch.
Free the butt.
Let's see. This is a story that, Brian, you are both excited about and I think sad about at the same time, if that's possible, and that is that Cobra Kai is coming to Netflix for season 3. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix. The 3rd season is coming, but you have to wait a year for it. Cobra Kai just finding a whole new set of fans over on Netflix.
Straight through, and it never gets old. And the fact that we have to wait. Now, they didn't give a solid date in 2021, so it might not. It might end up being a year from when it was supposed to release, but it's not going to be a year to today. Yeah. It's going to be I'm sure it's going to be first quarter 2021 because, and I got into a mini argument with a nudnik over on Instagram about this. It's pretty good marketing. You're going to have all of these people, these new eyes on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
How long? Like, not everyone has time to binge their shows in a day like some other people do.
Yeah, so you're giving people a chance to discover
Get caught up. Yeah, let them discover it, let them get caught up, and then as they go through, and then it's really smart because now Cobra Kai Season 3 doesn't have to compete with The Mandalorian when it comes out, and you don't want to put something out like during the holidays because, again, people aren't going to have time. So I think...
Well, the beautiful thing about streaming is...
You can watch whenever.
Yeah, you can. It's not like back in the day when you had to decide if you're going to watch CBS at 8 o'clock or Fox at 8 o'clock.
That's
you
true.
can watch all of it. Like, there's room for Cobra Kai and The Mandalorian. But regardless, I think
it'll help them boost their numbers easier.
YouTube abandoned its original programming, right?
I believe so, or they're in
And
the
so
process. And I think Cobra Kai was just the first one to be gone.
I think Cobra Kai was the biggest property that they
That,
had.
oh yeah, that was the only reason why I had YouTube Premium.
Yeah, so
Was for Cobra Kai. And as soon as Cobra Kai was off, bye. I'm going back to ads interrupting my movies.
Yeah.
I mean my videos.
So I think
Oh
that's
man, I love it. Have you watched it?
I have not.
Why?
Because I haven't.
But you should.
But now that it's on Netflix, I might.
Have you watched the movies? You've watched the movies.
Oh, I mean forever ago.
Okay, yeah. So then you can just.
And
go
it's
right
another one
into
of those things. It's like Bill and Ted, right? Which we'll talk about in a little bit. It's that like I want to watch the new stuff, but not until I go back and refamiliarize myself because it's been so long.
Right, and I think with Cobra Kai, the old stuff is still super relevant because it's integral to the story and the stuff that they talk about, and you get little nods to all of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, they even talk about stuff that was left on the cutting room floor of the original Karate Kid, but it's still canon, like the blueberry pie incident. And for those that don't know, there's a deleted scene where Johnny and the Cobra Kais put a blueberry pie under Daniel's seat, and when he sat down, it was on his ass. Mm-hmm. Just among the things that they did to him. So, I am so happy to see Cobra Kai on Netflix.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
It's amazing.
A lot of people were curious as to what was going to happen with that show. And it's good to see Netflix scoop another one up because I think that it'll be success. Now, a lot of series only make it through 3 seasons on Netflix, so it'll be interesting to see.
Well, Netflix has, I believe one of the things I think I saw John Hurwitz say is that Netflix has committed to realizing the Cobra Kai vision. Okay. And they've got 6 seasons worth of story.
Okay. Well, good.
So I think we're going to get 6 seasons of Cobra Kai. So if Netflix goes about what they normally do, then actually it'll be kind of par for the course because it'll just be 1 extra season.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
It's actually been a kind of a busy week for Netflix news. We've got a ton of it.
Oh yeah. Well, might as well jump to the next one.
Yeah, Netflix has announced that they're going to start offering some of their original programming free for non-subscribers on a free watch page.
And I think that's sort of an answer to what Peacock is doing because Peacock, you can watch some of their stuff for free.
Yeah.
So I think Netflix is the Mac Daddy of the streaming services. Netflix is the WWF in the 1980s.
Yeah, and I just wonder, because this is clearly a marketing ploy, I wonder at this point in the lifespan of Netflix, who doesn't have Netflix that might get it eventually? It feels like if you're going to get Netflix, you have Netflix.
Right. It could be people
like when was the last time you were talking to somebody and they were like, you know what I decided to try? That Netflix.
Oh, that new no-flangled Netflix.
I mean,
that's true. I mean, I've been with Netflix since the beginning, really.
Yeah, I mean, like it might be that people
they left
Netflix
and now
or
they
whatever.
They might think about coming back.
Yeah, but they're
or you might get someone that decides to get their own Netflix account instead of Bogart and someone else's.
Yeah, they're offering some series like Stranger Things, some of the Too Hot to Handle, and some of those shows they're offering for free. Not the full docket of their original programming, but
some.
But a handful of things.
That makes sense. I mean, I think that's kind of a cool idea. That's a way to get people back on the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, over the fence, not
yeah. Then we also got, and I don't know if you watched season 1 of this, but we got a teaser trailer and a launch date for The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is the sequel to The Haunting of Hill House over on Netflix.
I don't even know what those are.
The Haunting of Hill House is from 2 Octobers ago, okay. And it was the finest horror series I've ever watched.
Okay, so I'll have to watch that alone because Chicken Little in the other room won't watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's about, I mean, it's a story about mental health told through the lens of a haunted house.
Ooh,
and
my interest is now piqued.
It's brilliant. It's based on an old short story by Shirley Jackson, but this new season is based on The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. But it just kind of takes like a gleaning inspiration from those stories.
Sweet.
And so it's an anthology type series. This is a new, completely standalone story this season, but I'm very excited to watch it. When I was on episode, like maybe the next to the last episode of The Haunting of Hill House, I was like, these people made a masterpiece. Like the first season of this show is a masterpiece of storytelling.
Is it better than Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone?
I mean, that's hard to say because they're two different things, right? Twilight Zone episodes are one story in an episode.
Gotcha.
And this is, and so I would say for 12 episodes, I would put the 12 episodes of Hill House up against any 12 episodes of Jordan Peele's show for sure.
Fair enough. Okay. All
Now,
right.
the Twilight Zone is good, what I've seen of it, but it just doesn't have that, like it doesn't demand that I watch it the way that Hill House did.
Fair enough. Okay. Cool.
So,
Maybe
but yeah,
I'll give it a whirl.
give it a
I'll see
whirl.
about giving it a whirl.
We also
I
learned.
got so many things that I need to work.
I know, story of our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
We also found out just yesterday, I think, that one of Brian Tan's favorite Netflix shows, The Big Show, has gotten canned after only one season. Although, Mr. Tan, I do have good news for you.
Woo!
Did you see the crossover that they did with Gabriel Iglesias' show?
Can't say that I have. I haven't even finished Mr. Iglesias season 2.
Yeah, so Mr. Iglesias and The Big Show had a crossover event, and The Big Show will wrap up its Netflix run with a Christmas special. So, huzzah.
I guess. I mean, I'm going to say this, and if Big Show somehow is watching and he comes to my home and beats the crap out of me because he's over 7 feet tall and 500 pounds, then so be it. I tried watching this show. I wanted to like this show, and it just made my grundle hurt.
Yeah, well, and honestly, if The Big Show comes to your house and beats the crap out of you, at least then he would be going back to doing what he's good at.
Yeah, and that'll be more free publicity. So, I mean, hey, broken neck or free publicity.
Right,
Balance it out.
I never got excited about this show, and you did a mini review of it over in last season of Plotaholics Live, and I could tell you were struggling with it because you wanted to like it, but
I really did.
Yeah.
It's just the acting was just kind of meh. I mean, Big Show is cool and he's believable because he's playing himself. Honestly, I mean, he's got the charisma. His charisma should have worked, but it didn't. Honestly, he's too good.
That show, I will say this, has one of the most painful scenes I've ever seen, and it's a scene that I've seen just shared around. Mm-hmm. And it's the scene where they do that Backstreet Boys song. Have you seen that?
Thankfully, no.
It's on a ship, like a cruise ship, and him and a bunch of other wrestlers do a poor rendition of "I Want It That Way." It is no good.
The most overdone Backstreet Boys song of all time.
For sure, yeah.
I mean,
Big Show gets shit canned after one season. Rest in peace.
I really would like to see Big Show have an opportunity to actually do some actual acting, but whatever. I'm not crying for this.
Yeah, finally, we found out today that Netflix giveth and Netflix taketh away. Netflix has ordered a new multicam comedy from Jamie Foxx and his daughter Corin Foxx, who are both now on Beat Shazam over on Fox, I think, but. Those two develop it's called Don't Embarrass Me, Dad, or Dad Stop Embarrassing Me, or something like that.
What about Project Power 2?
That's
what I want.
Yeah, that's what I want too, and maybe that's what I should have talked about during my mini review today. But
well, it's all good. Maybe you should do a drunk review of Project Power.
Maybe I should,
because there's a lot going on in that movie.
I've got this idea that I want to start doing drunk reviews just of movie trailers. Like I want to do a drunk review of a movie based on only watching its trailer and doing 2 shots.
I think that would be awesome. I think you should do both. I think your liver is ready to take it to the next level for our entertainment.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. That wraps up. Well, I guess we do have this story that has been developing for what seems like years now.
Yeah, Johnny Depp, man, he's not taking this Amber Heard thing lying down, nor should he. For those that don't know, Amber Heard, who is the female lead in Aquaman, she was formerly married to Johnny Depp,
but for how much longer, we do not know.
Right. And she started saying she made allegations that Johnny Depp abused her. And of course, it cost him a lot of roles, including, I think, was it one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films?
Mm,
I believe it was.
maybe.
Because people were calling for him to be kicked out of Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
But, Warner Brothers stuck to their guns and they stuck with their guy. And then come to find out that Amber Heard is the one that has the history of domestic abuse and spousal abuse.
Yeah.
And
This is a story that I have admittedly just not paid that much attention
I'm
to.
kind of tried to stay away from it, but I get dragged into signing petitions,
You're a big
and
petition guy.
I guess not like they really do anything, but
Right.
like people want her out of the Aquaman movies.
Yeah.
And now, because of this case, he's trying to, he's like, hey, listen, bruh still got to work. I got lawyers to pay.
Yeah.
So why don't you just, put this on hold for a bit so I can go make that cheddar? I feel bad for Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp, he's been like the most method of method actors for a long time.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten to see enough out of him on screen because of this.
Yeah, he built the school that Jared Leto went to.
He really did. I think that Johnny Depp would have made a better Joker than Jared Leto.
Oh, for sure.
In fact, I think Johnny Depp could play the Joker or the Riddler, and they would both be creepy in their own way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he was the only thing about Crimes of Grindelwald that I liked because I hated that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have no idea why they're trying to make 3 of them.
I think they're trying to make more than 3.
Oh, God. Regardless.
Yeah.
It's that
I
time
mean-
once again, Mr. Tan.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's a Plotaholics minute review. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
this week,
man.
Mr. Tan, you watched Bill and Ted Face the Music.
You're damn right I did. And all I have to say is excellent. That's right.
So it is the sequel that maybe we didn't even know that we wanted.
But we need it at this point in time.
Yeah. So you enjoyed it.
Oh my God, I love this movie. I had a really, really crappy day on Friday. A horrible day. The only thing that kept me from putting my head through a wall and attacking strangers on the street in my fury was the fact that I watched Bill and Ted Face the Music
Yeah.
in the early part of the day. So, Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, thank you for making this movie and me not going to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie, it picks up, over 25 years later. And, Bill and Ted still haven't written the song that's supposed to unite everything in one. And it's taking a toll on their relationships with their wives. And they finally they get told, hey, listen, guys, by our estimate, you have about 45 minutes to write the song or else all of existence is going to end. And, of course, now I got to double check here to get the young lady's name who plays Ted's daughter, because she's a relative newcomer, at least to me. But, for one, you get what you expect from Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. Their whole dynamic, their charisma, all of it is still there. It's like it never left. It's still there. And you know what? Samara Weaving is the niece of Hugo Weaving, is amazing as Thea Preston. And Bridget Lundy Payne plays Billy Logan. And they are amazing too. Those two ladies have about the same charisma and the same chemistry that their on-screen dads have.
Yeah.
We see
The young lady that plays, you probably just said her name, that plays Keanu Reeves' daughter.
Yeah, Bridget Lundy Payne.
She looks like Keanu Reeves'
Just
daughter.
like him.
Yeah.
And Samara Weaving looks like she could be Alex Winter's kid. Like,
Yeah.
this casting was
The casting
amazing.
was on point for sure.
It really was. And I'm trying to look up. So Kristen Shaw is Kelly.
I love Kristen Shaw.
She is amazing. She plays Rufus's daughter.
Oh, okay, good.
And she's named Kelly after George Carlin's daughter.
Oh, that's good.
She doesn't have a huge role, but she does have a Rufus-esque role,
Yeah.
which is really, really cool. William Sadler is back as the Grim Reaper, and he is still so hilarious. He is so absolutely hilarious. And then I'm trying to find the gentleman's name. I'm trying to see if I can find it on here. Oh, basically the guy that plays Ted's dad is back with us as well. I can't find his name at the moment, but he's back with us. Mom is back.
Yeah.
And when you find out who she marries this time around, it's absolutely hilarious.
Nice.
And one of the best scenes to me in this movie is the couple's counseling scene, where it's supposed to be, couples counseling, right? Not two couples in counseling.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. But the whole movie is basically Bill and Ted are trying to figure out a way to try to write the song that unites the universe. And Billy and Thea are trying to help. And it's so great. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to. It's worth it.
We started watching from the beginning this past weekend.
Hal Landon Jr. is the name of Ted's father.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we got we just watched Excellent Journey.
Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Excellent Adventure. Yeah, and then we're going to watch the
Bogus
other
Journey.
two coming up this weekend probably. So yeah, so
Awesome.
I'll be on. I haven't seen these movies in so long.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna revisit the first two as well, because I just went right into Bill and Ted Face the Music. Oh, there's also some pretty cool cameos in this as well.
This is totally the kind of movie that would have a bunch of cool cameos in it.
It really does. I'm not going to tell you the cameos, but I mean, you've already seen one in the trailer, obviously, with Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but I'm actually willing to look into his music because I do like his role. He's kind of funny in this. He's really... I did not have any moments where I was bored. I had no moments where I felt like it's the perfect runtime.
Good.
As well. It has the perfect runtime, great nostalgia, and it's that feel-good movie that you need. The only gripe that I kind of have is Keanu Reeves needs his beard. He needs his beard.
Yeah. He never had a beard in the originals.
That's true, he didn't, but I'm so used to seeing Keanu Reeves with a beard now.
Yeah.
That seeing him without a beard kind of makes my head hurt. It's like,
yeah.
Whoa! But
he looks a little bit like an Adam Driver candle that was left burning overnight.
Ouch. Yeah, Keanu Reeves without facial hair, it looks like he's aging a little bit.
Yeah.
But
he's got the beard back now. I saw him on Colbert.
Yeah, he'll have the beard back, and I'm cool with that. But honestly, on our standard Plotaholics shot rating, it's a one shot film for me. And the main reason why I give it a one shot is Keanu Reeves is still he's totally amazing. Don't get me wrong. He's totally amazing. But he looks a little different and he sounds a little bit different.
Yeah.
His voice is a little bit deeper. And I think a lot of it is that we're so used to him being John Wick at this point that it sounds like John Wick is Ted.
Right.
But he's still being Ted.
John Wick is doing a Ted impression.
Right. But it doesn't take away from the movie. It's still fun. It's a good time to be had. Check it out. You won't be sorry.
Awesome. Well, Brian, that is going to just about do it for us for this week. We'll be back every Tuesday until mid-November doing this Plotaholics live thing. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of our first episode back. Again, make sure that you check out that
technically
merch.
this is season 2 because
Then now is not the time for semantics.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But you know what? We have some awesome merch.
If Dancing with the Stars can do 2 seasons a year, we can too.
That's a good point by you. But I'm not dancing with you in a ballroom.
Well, I'm not a star.
That's true. Neither am I.
But would I dance with the Big Show?
That's all you, my friend.
I would dance with him if he asked me to.
I'll be doing a 2-step in the corner. Maybe I'll do the electric slide.
You would be in the corner like those gothic kids on South Park.
Yeah. This is totally stupid.
You're
just
like
a bunch of conformists.
All right. Check out the Plotaholics merch link in the description. Also, over on Plotaholics.com, you can find a new shop link. And be sure to follow us everywhere at Plotaholics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, like, share, etc. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.